To the Minister, water pricing is the first priority in the Flinders tender when assessing tenders for water in this round, and most small operators are outcompeted by larger companies on this basis, who larger corporates typically having greater and better access to capital. Does the Minister acknowledge the difficulties there for small operators to enter the space in this tender?
Thank the member for the question. And the Flinders water allocation, as the member knows, I've had several meetings with you in relation to the tender process that's ongoing. As the member I've explained before, in relation to that process, is an independent process from me, and certainly is done independently in the department. We've certainly, as you know, I've been out and seen the project on ground for myself. I've met with the stakeholders from HIPCO as well in that part of the world that are certainly looking for one of those allocations. I take it that's sort of what you're referring to. But I'm advised just now that the Department of Regional Development and Manufacturing Water, that the current lease process uses a market-based tender mechanism with confidential reserve price that protects the value, as we know, of existing water licences and other businesses that also allocate their water. So the market will continue to determine the price that's available to be able to pay for what the water is worth in that region. Use of a market-based mechanism is consistent with the principles agreed by all the jurisdictions under the National Water Reform in 2004 and consistent with previous releases in other areas of Queensland and certainly the Flinders area. To ensure proponents for agricultural projects can compete fairly in this process, a decision was also made to exclude resource projects as part of this allocation from the current sale. Within this catchment, there is a general reserve to which the current process is now applying, and a strategic reserve. This is a further way that the department provides fair access to water for agricultural projects and mining projects, so the two separate things at this point in time. An open and transparent tender process is presently underway, and that is the best way to ensure that access to this water is equitable. The current release of 110,000 megalitres also means that some water will remain in reserve for future water needs. It's also important to note for the member that the water release process and decisions in relation to it are made by a department decision maker, as I explained, and not by the Minister for Regional Development and Manufacturing and Water. But as I have explained and talked to you before in relation, we want to make sure that any water project that we do certainly delivers for communities. And I know your passion for growing communities, not just in that project that you're supporting in HIPCO. So by all means, the work that you and the HIPCO team have done in relation to the dealings that I've had with them is very positive, and certainly working with the department to continue to move forward with that project in relation to not only funding to the federal government, but also to the opportunities for the water allocations when they come.